Deep inside our bodies, there's a hidden world of incredible activity, a bustling universe that keeps us alive and moving. Muscles, the movers and shakers of our bodies, are hard at work, allowing us to walk, talk, and even breathe. They are constantly in action, performing countless tasks that we often take for granted. But have you ever wondered what makes muscles move? What is the driving force behind every step, every word, and every breath we take? The secret lies in tiny units called sarcomeres. These microscopic structures are the fundamental building blocks of muscle tissue. Imagine a train. A train is made up of individual carriages linked together. Each carriage plays a crucial role in the train's journey. Similarly, a muscle is made up of thousands of tiny sarcomeres joined end to end. These sarcomeres work in unison to produce the force needed for movement. Each sarcomere is a powerhouse responsible for muscle contraction. When they contract, they pull on each other, shortening the muscle and generating movement. Understanding the sarcomere is key to understanding how muscles work. Scientists study these tiny units to unlock the secrets of muscle function and health. Let's take a closer look at the fascinating components of this microscopic world and see how they all come together to create movement. From the proteins that slide past each other to the signals that trigger contraction, every detail is a marvel of biological engineering. Imagine a racetrack. The starting line is where the race begins. In the world of the sarcomere, the Z-line is like the starting line. The Z-line is a dark line that marks the ends of each sarcomere. Like bookends holding up a row of books, Z-lines separate one sarcomere from the next. They provide a framework for the other components of the sarcomere to attach to. During muscle contraction, the Z-lines are pulled closer together. This shortening of the sarcomere is what ultimately leads to muscle contraction and movement. Now let's move to the center of the sarcomere, where the real action takes place. This region is called the A-band. The A-band is a darker band that contains both thick and thin filaments. Think of it like a busy street with two types of traffic flowing through it. The thick filaments are like buses, while the thin filaments are like cars. During muscle contraction, the thick filaments grab onto the thin filaments in the A-band and pull them inwards. This interaction between the filaments is what generates the force of muscle contraction. Section 4, I-band, the shrinking zone. This section is crucial for understanding muscle contraction. On either side of the A-band, we find the I-band. The I-band is a lighter region of the sarcomere. This lighter band contains only the thin filaments, like a less crowded street with only cars. These thin filaments are primarily composed of actin. The I-band is like a rubber band. It stretches and contracts depending on the muscle's state. When a muscle contracts, the I-band gets shorter. This shortening is a visible sign of muscle activity. This is because the thin filaments are being pulled towards the center of the sarcomere by the thick filaments in the A-band. The interaction between these filaments is essential for muscle contraction. The shortening of the I-band is a key part of muscle contraction. Without this process, muscles wouldn't be able to generate force. It's like reeling in a fishing line. As the line gets shorter, the fish gets closer. Similarly, as the I-band shortens, the muscle fibers pull together, creating movement. Section 5, M-line, the middle ground. Right in the middle of the sarcomere, we find the M-line. This line marks the center of the sarcomere, like the middle lane dividing a highway. The M-line helps to hold the thick filaments in place, ensuring they are organized and aligned during muscle contraction. It's like a traffic divider on a busy road, keeping everything in order. The M-line plays an important structural role in the sarcomere, providing stability and support for the other components. Section 6, H-zone, a disappearing act. Finally, we come to the H-zone, a lighter region located within the A-band. This area is crucial for understanding muscle contraction. This zone contains only thick filaments, like a section of the busy street with only buses. These thick filaments are primarily composed of the protein myosin. The interesting thing about the H-zone is that it changes size during muscle contraction. This dynamic nature is essential for muscle function. As the muscle contracts, the H-zone gets smaller and may even disappear completely. This phenomenon is a key indicator of muscle activity. This is because the thin filaments are being pulled towards the center, overlapping with the thick filaments. This overlap is what generates the force needed for muscle contraction. The H-zone is like a gap that closes as the muscle contracts, bringing the Z-lines closer together. This movement is vital for the shortening of the muscle fiber, enabling movement.